So, Chris,
What?
what do you call a critter in heat?
I don't know, Sean. What?
Passion of the Christ.
Boom.
uh, quote Jonathan Lindsay.
Oh, who are we gonna call? Critter Busters?
Dad's all torn up and Mom's got like a harpoon thing in her neck and they're getting bigger.
They'll eat anything.
Those, man-eating hairballs that you do not believe in.
Critters. They bite.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of They Bite, the only and best critters podcast ever in the world. I'm Sean and Chris.
Hey, guys. It's got to be the best podcast. Megan Morgan herself, Leanne Curtis, said so, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yes. I mean, it's gone to our heads, and we're letting it.
But we are here today, guys, because we have a big announcement for you guys involving Critters, a new binge. And
Yes.
it's actually something that hasn't really been in, like, the public transition, really. Like, it's online, but it's not really out there.
Yes, Chris found it, and we withheld it for this podcast. We've been holding out because we're jerks and we're greedy. But we're now going to let everybody know.
Yep, I found it online, and I had to tell Sean immediately, and he was very incompetent with websites, and I had to
Yeah.
show him about 4 different times on how to get to it.
Yeah, this website sucks. It's just impossible to find. Chris, I don't even know how he found it. He's like, sends me like screen caps. I'm like on the site. I'm like searching for critters. I'm Google searching it. A few days later, I can't find it again. I'm like, I think it got deleted, man. I think they took it down. He's, no, it's still there, dude.
I was like, what the hell are you talking about, Sean? It's right here.
Been taking too many bong rips with Megan Morgan.
But before we get to that announcement, I guess I can go ahead and just make this little tiny announcement we have. If you guys remember on a previous episode, I talked about there's going to be a convention in Cincinnati, Ohio, and it is Horror Hound Weekend in March. And Brad Dorff is going to be there, and hopefully I'll be there able to meet him. But they just recently announced that also Critters fame, D. Wallace Stone, or D. Wallace, I guess now, is going to be there as well. So that's 2 different people from the Critters franchise that's going to be there in attendance.
That's awesome. So bring your copies of Critters 1 and 4.
Yep.
To get signed. Oh, that's fucking awesome, dude. It's 7.5 hours from me, and I literally just made that trip like a few months ago for a girl, so I should probably do it for Critters, right?
Yeah. It's about, I'd say, maybe right at 2-hour drive from me.
That's it? Oh, I'd be there in a heartbeat then, man. You
Yeah.
got a family and stuff, so I know.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, responsibilities suck.
But
gotta get your priorities straight, man. Critters before everything.
Yeah, Critters first, right?
Yeah. You're the crate.
But I'm sure these people are very, very eager to hear what this announcement is.
Yeah, okay. I mean, there's actually quite a few. I mean,
Yeah.
Pretty much there was an interview with Jordan Rubin, who, if you don't know by now, is the director of the upcoming Critters New Binge. And our assumption is that it was given at the place, where was it's some Verizon thing or whatever, anywhere where Critters New Binge was announced. I think that they got this interview right after that.
Yeah, it was like an event that was held for like Hollywood companies and stuff, and Verizon was there, Warner Brothers was there, and like tons and tons of other companies were there doing panels and stuff for announcing stuff for their company for 2018, I think.
And the interviewer 50-50 knew their shit, which is pretty impressive, guys. I mean, let's give it to him. I was pretty hard on this guy at first, but actually he asked some good questions. I mean, he asked if there would be an origin story, or if it was going to exist in the world we already know. And they said it's not going to be an origin. It's going to exist in the world that we already know.
Which is good. It's good.
Definitely good. Yeah,
it means that the all 4 films have already, played out in this universe, and that if anything happens, there's going to be references to those films possibly.
Yes, it's going to be canon. Technically, I just thought about this. Critters 4 probably still hasn't happened.
True, but unless there's a way to unless somebody time travels and
Yeah.
says, oh, that event happens in the future, I've already been there or something,
Yeah, I'm going deep on this one, and actually that would make it harder for them to write down. And what
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
Wow. But that is still pretty damn good news. We're not going to get some whole new freaking world. It's going to be the critters we know. Although another question was about the plot, which revolves around the critters coming back to Earth because they left an egg behind. Now, we didn't answer if it was one that was left behind in one of the previous movies. That's going to be a surprise.
Yeah.
But it did say, I'm just going to read the question and the answer because I think it's better that way. The guy asked, did they leave one of the eggs during one of the previous movies or something we haven't seen yet? And he answers, it's sort of a surprise and a reveal. Let's just say that there was an impregnation that happened. There was a seed that was left behind, and now that maybe has come to fruition, so they need to find it because they think it will help them take over the galaxy.
Mhm. And I've talked with you a couple times about this, about what we think is going on with this.
Yeah.
And at first, when I first read it, I was thinking, oh, God, they're going to have some critter. It's going to be a hybrid with some other animal, like
Yeah,
a
like
dog and a
Aliens
critter
of
or
the 90s.
something.
That's all I could think of.
But the more I thought about it, I was thinking that when he means impregnation, it doesn't just say like hybrid or anything like that. It's just them talking about, it could be them just talking about a critter, was impregnated by another critter and was left behind, and the eggs were left behind, and now the eggs are hatching, similar to what happened in Critters 2.
I'm still leaning toward a hybrid, though, because he says that something about the one that was left behind, the critters think they need, because something about that one will help them take over the world. And I can't think of anything else except that there's going to be something special about this critter, or the galaxy, rather, to help them take over the galaxy. I don't want this to happen, by the way. I'm making that clear. I don't want some hybrid fucking dog critter like Alien 3.
Yeah, unless it's cool.
Yeah, unless it's cool. Yeah, no. I mean, if they can make it cool, like I have stated, I do want them to have like a critter that stands on its own. Like they did in Critters 3 and 4 with the bleach one and the bald one. I think that's really cool. But I don't know. Where do you stand on this? You don't want it.
I don't want it to happen if it's going to be like a hybrid and it's going to look different. It's not going to be a critter. Technically, it would be a different type of creature, animal.
Yeah.
I want it to be a critter that's just going to have like maybe he drank like in Gremlins 2 when the gremlin drank the formula that made him smarter, like something like that. Where for some reason this critter has more knowledge of Earth or something. So because it's been there so long, so now.
See, I could handle that to an extent as long as the critter isn't singing like New York, New York, talking about civilization. I love Gremlins too, by the way. I'm not dissing it. I just don't want it in my critters.
Yeah.
Gremlins 2 in its own way is almost better than part 1 for something. It is a weird fucking movie. But that also leads to the next thing. Speaking of not wanting the critters to look different, he says he doesn't have confirmation from the Kyotos yet.
Nope, not yet. But the way that they described his talkings in the interview was that they've been going back and forth with the Kyotos, trying to see if they are going to be a part of it or not. And he's also talked to other companies as well. But I feel like the Kyotos are going to be involved. I really do.
I do too.
It all just comes down to whether or not the company, whether Warner Brothers or Verizon, whichever one's paying for it, can make that budget happen.
I know. I feel like even with the budget, the Kyoto brothers, just how could they refuse it? You know what I mean? Why would they not want to do it? It just seems like it has to happen. And this guy, Jordan Rubin, he makes Zombieverse, which you've seen, I haven't, but Chris has said it has good special effects, good practical effects. So, in a way, that almost worries me that the guy might actually be arrogant enough to be like, I can do it. Maybe not, but the Kyoto brothers, that's almost like the most important element to making this good.
And
as we've said, go ahead, man.
At least he has talked to them. At least he knows enough to go to them and say, we want you to be a part of this.
Yeah, because, man, as we've said, if this sucks, but the critters still look perfect, we're going to be happy.
Yeah.
If it's brilliant, but the critters don't look good, we're going to be so confused about how we feel.
Yeah, like you could have bad acting, bad story, bad everything else, but as long as those critters look absolutely amazing,
Yeah.
then nobody's going to care, and that's all they're going to be talking about.
Exactly. Which I don't know. If they don't care about that, then maybe we're not actually the target audience. Maybe they're trying to target a whole different audience. But I mean, holy shit! And I know it almost sounds like an ignorant statement, doesn't it? It's like we'll take, a shitty film as long as they look good. We're saying what we shouldn't, but it is how we feel.
Yeah. But later on in that interview, he goes on to talk about, or to ask questions about the bounty hunters, and he says, "Are these bounty hunters going to be the same bounty hunters from the original films?" And as you and I both know that both, if you watch 1 through 4, you know that both Ugg and Lee are dead after part 4. But if they're not, if part 4 hasn't happened yet, then Ugg is still a possibility.
Ugg is still a possibility.
So yeah, but but Jordan Rubin went on to say, we are using 2 new people for bounty hunters, and they are going to have a major plot point for the show.
Yeah, and that does, we didn't have this confirmed, the bounty hunters. So that confirms the bounty hunters. That's a couple points right there. That's awesome. It's like a high five thing right there. But he also confirmed that they are still going to be the shape-shifting, Terminator style, just blow shit the fuck up. It sounds like we're going to get the bounty hunters the way that we know and love them.
Yeah.
That's almost more confirmed than the critters at this point.
And I think that that they're going to go in the serious but comical route at the same time, kind of like the first movie did, where the bounty hunters, because he says the bounty hunters are going to arrive on another continent away from the critters, and they gotta find the critters over there. So it's really funny to me.
Yeah, and that just opens up so much. Me too, man. That made me so happy. That made me glow. I just picture them landing on another continent, just blowing shit the fuck up, Which, going back to that first movie as an adult, that is almost the best part, is the bounty hunters just blowing shit up and people's reactions. It's hilarious. And so if they go to another continent, and do it, and in today's day and age where people can pull out their cell phones and it gets on the news and, it's going to be mistaken as ISIS or something. There's so much possibility. It's going to be fucking hilarious, and I can't wait.
I want there to be a scene where that references the first movie, where there's the 2 bounty hunters are looking for the critters, and they walk into like a bowling alley or a church, and one of them raises the gun to shoot just at anybody or anything, and the other one stops him really quickly with his hand and is like, "No, they're not here. Let's go." And they just walk away and don't do anything.
They let it like the temple, something really serious.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, they probably couldn't shoot there. But oh, that's going to be great. I was really happy to hear about that. So the bounty hunters are pretty much confirmed.
Yeah.
Like I said, the interviewer was 50-50. He asked if Ugg and Lee are going to be in it. Lee is dead. Watch the films, you ass.
Yeah.
As we said, but then he did ask another question that was very important. Are we going to get Charlie?
And that's something I've been wanting to know since 2014. Like if they ever do another movie or a series or whatever, is Charlie going to be a part of it? So he asked that main question I've always wanted to know, and he basically just kind of avoids it a little bit because he says there's always the possibility with a question mark.
Yes, he says no, but then he follows it up with that.
Yeah.
Which leads me to the next thing. I know you and I love Charlie. He's the hero. Do we want him back if it's not played by Don Opper? No.
Hell no. If it's not Don Opper, then Charlie does not need to be a part of it. Maybe they can have somebody reference him or say, no, something happened to him. He disappeared. Nobody knows where he's at, and that could be the part where he's like, he's up in space now. But
yeah, right, because this would be in between part 3 and 4 technically.
Yeah, or who knows? Maybe somebody's like, we need to contact Charlie. We need to know what's going on with this, and then nobody can get a hold of him.
Yeah, even if they just reference him a little bit, that would be really cool. But don't have some new fucking hip actor coming in playing Charlie, man.
Yeah.
Nobody else can do it but Don. He's our hero, and we love him.
That's right, only Don.
Only Don. Well, you're so lucky and fortunate that you got to meet him. I would have totally bawled. So let's see. There's actually more. People are
Yeah.
probably like, really?
They said that the critters are going to land in Burbank, California, and it's going to happen at a school, like a high school, and it's going to
Yeah.
focus on one specific kid and his family. So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah. That really doesn't give us too much, and it's almost predictable. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, whatever.
Yeah, but
Who
me and you were
cares?
talking about that. We were wondering though if it was going to be like if they were going to land at the school and just the entire series takes place in the school, or
Yeah.
what was going to happen. And I even said to you, I said it'd be cool if they went home and then the critters followed them home and wreaked havoc in the houses and at school and stuff. And that seems to be what's going to happen. So
Yeah, there's a lot more possibility now. Gosh, I don't even know what to say to that. I don't think I would be disappointed either way. Both sound good, you know.
yeah,
The more, you know, I think Critters 2 is really the only movie where they're not isolated to one location, but they still kind of are because that town seems really small.
yeah, I know what you mean.
So,
Yeah,
so to picture them like at the school and also at this kid's house, you know, we haven't really seen that. They're always in a pack, you know. So I don't know, it'll be interesting. I'm also interested. Something else I want to bring up, and I know I brought it up in the first podcast, but something about the way they're going into the plot point of the critters needing to come back because of one. Are we going to get a lot more scenes of dialogue with critters? You know, are they going to become not a background stalking monster? Are they gonna? Is it actually going to go to scenes where they're doing their voice, which they better do the same voices, and you know, actually explaining like we need, you know, we need to get down because of this for this.
yeah. I hope they
who
don't.
else is going to explain it?
Yeah, I hope that it follows the bounty hunters, and the bounty hunters are the ones to give the explanation. Like, it could follow the kids at school, and they have no idea what's going on, and then it just cuts the bounty hunters still looking for the critters, saying, "Oh, well, the critters did this. We need to find them."
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Also, something that I haven't thought of until right now, the bounty hunters, when they were sent on a mission, there was always that like ugly fucking big-headed thing. You know,
Perfect description.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you know, Leo. No, but he was kind of the plot, you know, self-narrator when I think about it. So if they bring that element in, he could even be like, you know, you need to get down to this high school.
Yeah, you know, I never thought about that. I never thought about them bringing that character out.
Yeah, it's kind of a throwaway character. No. Okay, so let's see. There's even more, guys. Believe it or not, man, we got a whole fucking shit ton of stuff here.
Yep. Go ahead
I
with this
think we're
one.
down to the. I think we're down to the big reveal.
So everybody's wanting to know since the beginning of the announcement, how long are the episodes going to be? And
Yeah.
this particular interviewer just went straight out and said, how long are the episodes going to be? And he answered. He answered it. He
He did.
said that right now it's going to be anywhere between 8 to 10-minute episodes with 10 episodes possibility. So
No, actually, it's 10-minute episodes. That's a. Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. That's what
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's going to be
10-minute
an
episodes.
80. So it's going to be like an 80-minute long movie.
Yeah,
So
basically.
I've had a few days to let this settle in, and I think I'm actually happy with this decision now because I'm realizing that we're just getting a full-length Critters 5, and they found a way around selling it to the modern attention deficit disorder generation.
Yeah, and I was telling you this because the 10 minutes there, it lets people that aren't really going to tune in for a feature length movie give it a shot, saying I don't have very much time to waste on this. It's only 10 minutes. I'll give it a shot anyways. So there's a possibility of
that's
bringing in
true.
new people to watch it and maybe even liking it.
Yeah, and I'd imagine it has to jump right in. What's the first 10-minute episode going to be? Because the first 10 minutes of Critters is character development. It's it's going to be interesting. I really don't know how the hell they're going to do this. I just hope it doesn't suck.
You know what I kind of hope they do? I kind of hope they have the first episode, like the first 4 minutes of it, is like a flashback of previous movies to kind of
Yeah.
narrow down what has happened in the franchise, so that way you can just jump straight in to what's going on now.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either, because, boy, who is their target audience with this? I mean,
I have
'cause
no idea.
let's face it, even your like big horror fans, they can't sit down and just rap about Critters like you and I. They might remember the big ball from part 2 or something. It's just so it's a lot of info to just imagine, thousands of people are already going to know going into this.
Yeah.
That's not going to be the case, and they must know it.
Which
So
would be like some like old man in a rocking chair, which turns out to be like an original character. He's like sitting there rocking back and forth, telling his son a story like a long, long time ago.
it could be the kid from part 3 pulls out his like glowing green thing and let me tell you a story, my son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just show part 3 again.
Yeah, just all that, yeah. Yeah, because why would he know about part 1 or 2?
Yeah. And at the end of
Last
it would
time
say,
on Critters.
and at the end of it, the season finale would say, "To be continued."
Yeah, that would be something. He knows what happened in the basement for some reason. I still think they should just, last time on Critters.
I hope so. I really hope so. I hope they do that, and then at the end of it, it could be next time on Critters.
I wouldn't mind it either, dude. But he did say that they were straying away from the campiness.
Yeah.
And another thing, honestly, this interviewer didn't do a bad job. We just should have gotten that interview.
Well, the strange
I'm
thing
just
about it is I don't know why it's so like not known amongst everybody. Like usually people post it to Critters Rehatch Facebook page before I even see stuff. Like I don't see how
Yeah.
everybody else finds it before I do, but they always do.
Yeah,
And
they do. You suck.
and this particular yeah, I do, yeah. Yeah, fuck you, Sean. I found this interview.
It makes up for it.
So, but yeah, this for some reason this interview was posted and nobody seems to know about it. Like no news coverage is covering it. No websites have it. No people on the Facebook page has sent me links or emailed me or anything like that about it whatsoever. So I feel like nobody has seen this interview.
No, I don't think anyone was going to either because, shit, man, guys, honestly, we recorded this last night and we had a problem where we're recording it again, and you guys still haven't found it.
Yeah, yeah, and it was posted on January 25th, and here we are, the 2nd of February, and it still has not been seen amongst anybody that's at least been in the Facebook page.
No, so that means more people seeking out Critters are finding our podcast than this interview. So thanks, Flash Film. We'll report it for you.
Yes, I feel like the interview wasn't supposed to be up yet, and
I don't either.
they like either had it in their system for a specific date and something happened and it went ahead and got on there or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They're probably like, it only has 2 views anyways. We don't have to take it down. It's just you and me.
Yeah, because it was just weird because I asked Jordan Rubin about those specific questions and he told me specifically that he could not discuss any of this.
Yeah.
And then like 5 days prior to that, he'd done an interview with somebody on a website, and I didn't even know about it. So I find it very strange.
Yeah, I do too. In fact, you were wondering if the interview was fake, but I was just like, what, to trick you and me? Like,
yeah. To trick the 5 people who've seen it on their page?
Yeah, that is a fucking dedicated troll. He's like, I'm going to find a niche market and just screw with those guys.
Yeah, because I was thinking that. I was like, it can't be real because nobody's seen it, and then these are things that are questions that should be asked, but yet this guy told me that he couldn't discuss it with anybody, and then here it is discussed, and the thing is, those questions that he asked, they seem like questions that are typical for people who would just be like, oh, Critters, yeah, I could just ask this because I saw the covers of the movies and I know that those are out there like that. So I don't know. It just seems weird to me that those are even the questions that guy would ask.
Yeah, the whole thing, it's very surprising, but I believe it. And, he didn't give any information that we could sit here and be like, well, we know that's not true. So This seems legit to me, and
Yeah,
I'm
and
pretty
it took
excited about it.
15 days for that interview to be
Mhm.
posted after the fact that he did the interview.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was something else too. I was like, why wasn't this posted the day of?
Yeah, I think honestly it might have gotten posted accidentally a little early.
Yeah,
I really do
but we
think
found
so.
it. We found it, and we have it to share with you guys. So.
Yeah, that's right.
I
So
will, guys. If you are interested in reading the full interview, word for word, I will post it on the Critters Rehatched Facebook page for everybody to click on, or you can just listen to what we had to say about it, and that's it.
yeah, honestly, don't give these guys anything. No, no, it's slashfilm.com/critters hyphen the hyphen you hyphen binge hyphen interview.
A lot of
But
hyphens.
yeah, lots of hyphen. These guys are not professional.
Yeah, if you don't know where your hyphen is on your keyboard, you're screwed.
Yeah, exactly. It's next to the dash. No, it's just confusing. Okay, so I think that's all really all we have to report.
Yeah, for Critters and New Binge, they don't give. Oh, they did ask one last question, and we almost forgot about it. He
What was
said, "Do you guys have a release date?" And he said,
that?
"No, we do not have a release date. We are aiming to shoot in the next few months. So they don't know when it's going to be released, but they are trying to get everything done so they can get filming in the next few months."
Well, it's only an 80-minute film. He pretty much said he's going to try to shoot it all like it is one film. He thinks that's how he's going to get the best results.
Yeah.
And I predict now that we're going to get a Blu-ray box set with Critters 1 through 4 with a new Binge thrown in. I think that's how it's all going to release now. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I hope so. Like, it'll be really
Yeah, I
cool.
kind of do too. Yeah, I would like, and hopefully each one will come with new artwork. You'll be able to open it up and each disc will have its own treatment.
You know what they're going to end up doing,
Features.
right? They're
Yeah.
they're going to end up making a Blu-ray individual release for 1, 2, 3, and 4, and an individual release for 1 through 4 together in a set, and then a individual release of a new Binge, and then a set that has all 5.
Yeah, just so that you and I will buy it. I mean, it's not that good of an idea.
I'll have to buy every single one of them,
I know you will. Bastards. No, we're just happy to get it. We're happy to give you the money.
But one thing else, guys, I wanted you all to let us know in the comments down below whenever you guys listen to our podcast, anything, whether it's good, bad, we don't care. As long as we are talking about Critters, we want you all to discuss it. I posted on the Critters Rehatch page, so you guys can comment down there. If you're just listening to it right on YouTube, make a comment on YouTube. Both me and Sean reply to all those messages that's on there. So.
Definitely. And if you guys happen to be finding this podcast and aren't a member of the Critters Rehatch page on Facebook, we don't like Facebook either, really. But, the group's really cool, so just find it and join, It's really,
Yep,
it's
all,
not like the
all
rest
news
of Facebook.
for Critters will be there.
Yeah, All right, guys, thanks for tuning in again. We'll see you next time. And we have a lot of cool stuff coming, so
Yep.
keep tuning in.
Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Kill more Critters.